Alright, in this video I want to talk about the PrismStrike package that they released a week or two ago. There's multiple items you get. You get 3 shields. I think you get 4 weapons or something like that, and they're all different. It's not like a MRM swaps type of deal. But basically you get, on the shield, you get a darkness, energy, and light version of uh, the shield. And basically it just sort of backlashes prismatic burn, um, but it scales versus endurance. So this character does not have endurance, so not only is it endurance inflict, it's also half power at 0 endurance. So it's 1.159 with 0 endurance. It's twice that with endurance. There's no SP cost or toggle associated with it. So the Heroic Titan Shield is a little stronger because there's a toggle there to turn it on. This is the art. But that's it in a nutshell. I think it's the weakest version of, or the weakest item in the stuff that you're going to get. So just want to show that really quick. It's not bad in that you can cover 3 elements with the same idea. If you like to use a lot of prismatic burns, um, or if you're using like chokes and panics and you don't mind being hit, you're not trying to dodge, uh, get a little bit of extra damage out of the prism burns and stuff like that. It's not a bad shield at all. It's just, I think that it's probably the weakest of the group. Moving on to my full offensive ranger. Uh, This guy has a weapon that actually toggles between full offensive mode and 100 proc mode, 0 proc to 100 proc, so it can be used on a full defensive ranger. I do need to get a copy over to my full defensive ranger, but basically this does barrier, and I think it's up to 4 hits, but I'm going to show off. This is called Aces High, and it's water element. However, I am going to, I'm using a 4-hit armor that's LE locked. So as you can see, we have 203 barrier here. It's not bad. So in this case, we had a 203 barrier plus a 703 hit point heal. So it kind of makes sense to use this siphon mode with the barrier. It'll help with your defense. So now what I'm going to do is use Nickel Clad Defender. I'm actually going to swap to Wing Weaver and dismount, and I'm going to go to barrier mode, and then I'm going to use Moontide Bracer, which is a barrier misc that scales on endurance from the donation contest. It's pretty good. You get 45 endurance and 45 luck, and then you get a barrier after every hit. I think it's every turn. I think if all your hits land, it's the same. It's like 192 or something. So basically, I've got a bunch of barrier items here. I'm going to kill the monster here, so we'll move on to the next monster and see what kind of barriers we can get. So 843 barrier, 1 turn. 486 to 1293, that's another 800. Down to 914. So almost 1,000. So you'll usually range between about 800 to 1K on average. I find using Wing Weaver and all this stuff, to me, it's an outstanding combination. Let's go ahead and swap to Wing Weaver's misc, actually. So you're going to gain barrier here. Let's see what kind of barrier we get. So 1061. The extra heal resist from the misc might be, you might be getting a little bit more barrier. Let's see, 1128 to 1970. So that was in the 800s. So maybe it's very similar. 1765. So just under 1,000. 2180. So as you can see, this combination is extremely powerful. I'm using an offensive setup basically here. Let's do this skill so I can get an extra heal resist. Let's dismount and let's see what kind of barriers we're getting now. 1071. Hit me pretty hard there to go through 1,000 barrier. That one was only 656, so that was a very, very low ball end. Wonder if that misc disabled due to SP or something. But I think this might be the best item out of the group. Okay, got wind to 180, so let's go ahead and bring this guy back. So 878. So I guess it's pretty similar. 689 to 1481. Yeah, you're getting about 800 to 1K on average per turn. Maybe there's some low balls in the 6 and 700s, and then there's some maybe higher ends closer to 1100. This would be extremely effective considering I have 16% to energy, and then so the monster's just not able to get past the barrier here. But that's it for the Aces High item. Alright, so now I'm going to move on to the two magic weapons. So this character is a Lucky Beast Mage, but it uses Luna Neko. It's basically my burn eater, so almost everything that I have here is going to inflict burn, and then it turns around and tries to eat the burn. So let me go ahead and get this stuff set up. Alright, so we have a light and darkness version of the weapon here. And what I like to do is, so the light version is basically a stronger Seraph Calamity. The blind will be extremely similar to it, but the burn is better because the burn is based on number of hits, up to 4. Much like Mana Cascade partnering with Legion Monster Lord Reaver, although that's a little bit stronger because you're paying more resources for the effect. But this stuff toggles modes, so make sure light spells burn, make sure light spells blind, burn and blind, and then I think the power of the two come down. But I'm going to go ahead and just use burn mode, and then I don't have a light burn spell here, so I'm just going to cast a light spell. So we get the 7.5 burn for 2 rounds there. So again, that's how this item works. So I just like to, I thought they were going to fix this idea with the Arcane Rift key, and then you can transfer it because you burn yourself. And then so basically we've got the light burn and the harm burn. I don't think it transferred the harm burn. Oh yeah, there it goes. So it's going to be fire or earth. And then I just basically eat that. That's just what I do with this character. The Ellie comp of Luna Neko is about 1.4 versus Soul Neko's 1.1. So the burn eating spell is a lot more powerful. Now I'm going to switch to the darkness version. They share the same toggle, so it's already on. I do have a burn spell here. Let me make sure I cover light element here. Alright, so I'm going to use feels. So it's going to combine, and you have a 10 power burn just right there. The same spell also does blinds, but I also, on another character, use these items for, I use it with Darkness Orb Shroud. And as you can see, they work very well with my burn character. I like the items. I like them for my burn character. I really like it for this guy here. He is my Dodge Lasher. So I have copies here. So we're going to explore blind mode basically. Now I have a couple different things that I do. I use, the bun bannerets. I also will use just a bunch of different things. But I enjoy using blinds more and more because it frees up resource heals. But what I'm going to do here, so it says light spell, so we're going to use Griffin Airstrike. This is going to scale, and this monster is obviously 200% to light, but let's see what kind of scaling we get. Alright, so it's a 33 blind. So scaled way up to 94. One of the blinds didn't land. So basically at this point, I've heard that the 5% floor was never implemented. I don't know how accurate that is, but especially if that's the case, at this point, Very, very few monsters in the game will be able to hit you. So stacking a blind spell that's light or darkness with these weapons is very, very good. I feel like what I'm going to do this time is actually, I like to do this. This gives me sort of a head start, especially with the resource heal combination. That 847 SP doesn't seem so bad, but basically it gives me a leg up right out of the bat. So what I'm able to do is just cast this thing twice. Keep in mind this is versus 100% element, and I will have 59 blind. Basically, when you get to about 120, it'll scale up to the point where the monster's not going to be able to do much. And so, even though I only have Dodge Lash on the armor, he went twice, and basically he's killing himself. Let's find another monster here to try this on. So what I'm going to do is just use Prime Chaos Orb to... Okay, so Darkness is at 110. So let's see about... So we have 20, so one of the blinds didn't take. Gotten blown up. Alright, so let's do this. So we're up to 85 blind pretty quickly, and now I can focus on resource heals and just dodge lashing. And it's pretty nice. Most of the stuff I have here is all about dodging. I even brought over the old Chimeran Vindicator shield. But just to show you kind of what kind of healing this character can do with the Light Realm Champion, which is dodge heal and Chrono Platinum. Same thing. I think it should be something like 800 something hit point heal. It's going to be pretty crazy. So as you can see, I'm way up to 2400 hit points now. And I'm still dodge lashing with the armor, so I primarily use it. But I've got a dodge lash armor here, and everything here plays into dodge or blinds or whatever. But I can get to being unhittable pretty quick. So that's the magic weapons. I have a burn build I use it for, and a dodge lash build for blinds I use it for. Now to end this video, we're going to come to, this is my back glasher that I have all my doom lights on, but the melee weapon's actually for hybrids. So in order to showcase this guy, I'm actually going to need quad force. The effect is strength inflict, but the cost is MP. So I have a mixed idea about this weapon. I'm not sure if those that like to play a hybrid, strength in hybrid when warpire subrace, enjoys this weapon. Those that have it, but it does have a per hit chromatic effect. So you have a 5.68 and it heals 1 times damage. Versus monsters like this, all the resists are high. That's probably fine. And it's multiple turns, so you're going to grow the effect per turn. You're going to be able to basically heal it back, as you can see. But that's it. Basically, I don't really have a true hybrid in any of my 10 characters to really show the item. I think the item's probably pretty good, especially um, I don't know if the chromatic corruption imbue is the same exact idea or different, but I bet you using those with this would be a good stack and really enhance the idea. But that is the totality of the Prism Strike Arsenal Z token package. $35, 12,000 Z tokens. I just wanted to show off some of the items on a few different characters, how I use them, and that's it for this video.